Hello. Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, everyone? What's going on, everyone? What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing in chat today? Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Missed you guys. We are going to have a great, luxurious Sunday today. We're going to have a great time. And I just said Sunday. It's Thursday. That's how much of a mental pretzel I'm currently in at the current moment. You hate to see it. You really do. So I hope everyone is having a good Thursday, and we're going to get into the questions in just a couple of seconds here. So I appreciate your guys, your patience here. So everyone, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. I got to go ahead and pull that up and type that out. And then once that is done, we are going to be ready to rock. Ready to rock, baby. Good evening. What's up, everyone? What's up, A-Fin? What's up, Brian? What's up, Captain Spock? Spock sent the video in the chat of Isaiah Crowell. I think I know what the video is. Isaiah Crowell wiping his ass when he scored the touchdown with the football. I didn't even have to watch the video because I just assumed I knew exactly what the video was. And if that wasn't what the video is, then I probably look like a straight up buffoon right now. But I'm pretty sure that's what the video is. What's up, Caitlin? What's up, Andreas? What's up, everyone? What's up, Tyron? What's up, Rob? How are you guys doing? All right, so we're going to type this out in the chat. Go Bills. Thank you for the super chat. And then we are going to answer your guys' questions here. All righty, let's do it. Start a poll. Did you like the stream? Question mark. What's up, Smooth Criminal? What's up, DC? What's up, Peyton? What's up, A-Fin? How you guys doing, man? Yes? No? This, I don't know why, but this actually does help get likes on the stream. If it didn't actually have an impact on things, I wouldn't do it. But it does raise the likes for some reason. Every single time I do one of these polls, it really helps us out. So let's get on into things here. Go Bills says pick 3 full PPR. I love the Christmas tree. I love the Christmas feeling. Obviously, it's only October, but soon enough, it'll be Christmas. Full PPR, Saquon, KW3, ETN, and Kamara. This is a loaded question because these are 4 running backs that in, I would say, 99% of teams don't have 4 running backs like this, right? This is the type of running back core where it does get frustrating every week, right? Because you have 4 guys that, in my opinion, are basically must starts every single week, right? Even though we have a bit of not love for the Giants, right? The Giants aren't necessarily the safest team, but you still probably want Saquon and a majority of the team. And Wayne, I do appreciate that. But yeah, I would go Kenneth Walker III, ETN, and Kamara. I think Saquon has the most amount of question marks out of all of these guys. Now, it's not necessarily Saquon Barkley's health that is a concern. It's more just how good is that offense going to be, right? I know Tyrod Taylor looked good last week, but is he really going to be able to repeat that? I don't know. Obviously, the Commanders' defense is not the best, so it definitely is possible. But to me, I think I would play Kenneth Walker III, ETN, and Kamara. I love Kamara tonight, love ETN tonight. And I think Kenneth Walker III has the upside to be the RB1 on the week. What's up, Brian? Who does Lattimore cover tonight is my question. I have Kirk in 2 lineups. I would think Lattimore would be on Ridley. But if you actually look at the stats over the last 2 weeks, last couple of weeks, the number 1 receiver in terms of yards has been Christian Kirk. So it's kind of interesting. Will Lattimore stick on Kirk? Is he going to go back and forth? Because normally Lattimore is the kind of guy that'll just stick on you, like glue. He'll be the guy that just one-on-one, he's going against Evans. He's going against the best receiver. And that's what I like out of those elite corners, right? The corners who are able to, they move with the guys, right? Because there's some corners that just, they'll just stay in their spot on the field, right? They're on the right side. They stick on the right side. They'll go up against the wide receiver 4. But Lattimore is typically a guy that moves with the receiver. So I would think he'd be on Ridley. But again, we don't necessarily know. I do agree with Spock that Ridley is due for a good game. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat, my man. I really appreciate it. Or Jonathan, thank you for saying good evening. It was Andrew with the super chat. What's up, Connor Smith? How you doing? Andrew, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Let's see what Andrew's question is. Unless Andrew has not typed his question yet, which is also possible. Andrew. All right. I'm waiting for Andrew's question. I'm going to keep answering other questions here. And again, just so everyone in chat knows, I'm not avoiding your questions. I just click on the screen randomly. Unless you super chat, I just click on the right side of the screen. I can't even see the right side of the screen really because there's this microphone stand in front of me, and I'm just clicking on the side of the screen. So thoughts on trading Logan Thomas for Gabe Davis or Jackson Smith in the Jigba? I would definitely trade Logan Thomas for Gabe Davis. Andrew, thank you for the super chat. Andrew's question was, how do we feel about Shaheed tonight? So I think Shaheed is basically one of those guys that I have a similar read on every single week. My read on Shaheed is that Shaheed is either going to score you, I would say, 18-ish plus points, or he's going to score 3 points. He's a guy that does a lot with a little, meaning he will see a little bit of targets, but with the little bit of targets, he can do a lot with them, right? He could turn 3 targets into 100 yards and a touchdown. He could turn 3 targets into 75 yards and 2 scores, right? That's the kind of guy that Rashid Shaheed is. He's very risky on a week in, week out standpoint, right? In terms of projections, it is very hard if I was to run some type of projections to project him very highly every single week. Now, that is not a nod on the game or the skill set of Rashid Shaheed. It's more just a nod on the fact that, hey, this is a team that is quarterbacked by a quarterback that I don't really trust week in and week out, right? Does anyone trust Derek Carr? I'm not even sure the Saints trust Derek Carr. So what I will tell you is I feel like Rashid Shaheed has a lot of upside tonight. I like the matchup for Rashid Shaheed. I think he can do very well. But if you put him in your lineup and you're thinking that he is a safe option, he is the exact opposite. So I do like him tonight. I'm going to be playing him in a bunch of DFS lineups tonight. But I wouldn't tell you that I am just in love with having him on my redraft team tonight. So DK Metcalf did not practice on Thursday. That's a report for you guys. And that's about it. I feel pretty excited for Rashid Shaheed every single week. I know he's going to be pretty iffy week in and week out, but I do like his upside. How do we feel about Jaylen Warren and Zach Evans? I like Warren. I do not like any of the running backs on the Rams. They have Myles Gaskin. They have Zach Evans. They have Darrell Henderson. If I was the Rams, I think Zach Evans is going to see the most amount of touches, but I think this is going to be a glorified split. Eddie, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Josh Downs or DeAndre Hopkins for bye weeks. Okay, so I would definitely rather have Josh Downs in terms of bye weeks. I think Josh Downs now, without AR-15, even without Anthony Richardson, I really think Josh Downs is in technically a better space because Gardner Minshew feeds him. The health of Ryan Tannehill's up in the air. The Tennessee Titans are on a downward spiral. Now, I think every once in a while, we're going to see a good Josh Downs week. I mean, a good DeAndre Hopkins week. But I think I'd rather, if I had to hold one, I'm holding Josh Downs over DeAndre Hopkins. That might sound crazy, but that's just kind of how I feel at this point. Kunak, what's up, my man? Question below. Love the stream. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right, let me look for your question here. Unless you're still typing it, which is possible because he said question below. Never mind. He already typed it in. Thank you, Kunak. I greatly appreciate that. And isn't it crazy seeing a picture of McCaffrey in a Panthers jersey at this point? It feels like that was so long ago, even though I think he was still in a Panthers jersey. I think he was still on the Panthers this time last year off the top of my head. I think it was close to the trade deadline, which I think is coming up soon. So very interesting. Kunak said, thoughts on trading Jacobs and Pittman for CMC and Higgins. My other wide receivers are St. Brown, Hill, Thielen, and Hollywood. My other running back is Kamara. Should I do it? I have wide receiver depth. I would. I think you're not even losing a lot of value going from Pittman to Higgins. I know Higgins hasn't been great this year, but neither has the whole Bengals team, right? The Bengals just recently started percolating a little bit more. I think the Bengals coming out the bye are going to be a lot hotter going forward. So I would probably say I would do that trade 100%. You have the receivers, like you said. I think Thielen's going to continue to stay hot. Hill is on top of the world. St. Brown's on top of the world. Hollywood's been doing good. And Kyler is also coming back very, very soon. So in my opinion, I would do that 100%. If you are getting Christian McCaffrey and Higgins, I'm accepting it right now. I'm not overthinking things. I know McCaffrey might play this week. He might not play, but the outlook on him going forward is that this injury is like a week thing, right? It's not going to be something that ends his season based upon everything that I have read. So no surgery coming for Justin Fields' right thumb. Kyler Murray limited in practice. That is the most recent reports there. All right. Emmanuel, thank you for the super chat. Romeo Doubs or Amari Cooper? This is a good question. What's up, Sammy? How you doing, man? This is a good question, not just because of the ups and downs with Amari Cooper, but because Romeo Doubs has been super reliable. Now, I think with Christian Watson coming back more into the fold, I think Christian Watson's going to be under a much higher workload this week, right? I think we're to see a lot more of Christian Watson compared to the past. I think if Aaron Jones is healthy, we're going to see a lot of Aaron Jones as well. I'm going to go Amari Cooper. I understand that Amari Cooper's upside does kind of fluctuate with PJ Walker or Watson under. But based upon what I've read, it kind of seems like Watson might have just been dipping the 49ers. Dip, dive, duck. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball type deal here. So I would personally lean with Amari Cooper. I just feel a lot more comfortable with Cooper. I think there is a lot of worries with the upside of Dobbs, knowing now that Watson should be more ramped up at least. So I'm going to go Amari Cooper. He feels safer. They have pretty similar upside. I'd say they both have the upside to get like 20 points in any given week. I like the Browns matchup a decent amount. I would lean with Amari Cooper Scoopers. Thank you for the super chat. Again, Emmanuel, I'd go Amari Cooper. Brian, thank you for the super chat. Trade Jacoby Myers and Kareem Hunt for Jordan Addison in a PPR league. I will have to drop Hunt or Stafford with DeAndre Johnson coming off of my IR spot. Now, that is a very good question because I was someone in the offseason who was incredibly high on Jordan Addison. If anyone watched the videos in the offseason, not everyone here was there in the offseason, so I just kind of reiterate some of my points from the offseason. In the offseason, I was all over Jordan Addison. I was talking about how I think Jordan Addison has the upside to be the number one rookie receiver. I thought he had top 24, top 20 upside, even with Justin Jefferson healthy. I was all out on Jacoby Myers because I thought Jimmy Garoppolo would not be able to kind of juggle to having two great receivers on his team. And that was very wrong. Now, I was right on Addison to be very high on him, but I was wrong on Jacoby Myers to be very low on him because he is very involved in that Raiders offense. And even when Adams is flying high like a bird soaring flying, because there's not a star in heaven that we can't reach like Troy Bolton, I really think that I can't do this trade because I think right now, even without Kareem Hunt, if you said, Nick, would you rather have Jacoby Myers or Jordan Addison? I would tell you Jacoby Myers. I think there's a chance Kirk Cousins is gone in Minnesota. Even with Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer or Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Myers is very fluid because the quarterback change doesn't mean much. The quarterback change would absolutely sink the battleship of the Minnesota Vikings. So knowing that, and knowing that I still kind of want Kareem Hunt, I'd probably rather drop Stafford over Kareem Hunt on my team. I'm keeping Jacoby Myers and Kareem Hunt. I just don't think I could do that. Wildcats, baby. I just don't think I could trade away Jacoby Myers. I just can't do it. So I'm keeping Jacoby Myers. I get why you really love Jordan Addison. I do too. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL right now. The speed, the big play upside's great. But there's just something about having that safety net that Jacoby Myers is. And Kareem Hunt might jump over, leapfrog over Jerome Ford. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but it is possible. Michael O'Grady, Ridley, Watson, Flowers. I would go Watson and Ridley. Buy Mageddon, need me in the balls, dude. It hurts so bad in a lot of leagues. That hurts bad. There's one league where my players that are starting in my lineup should never grace a starting lineup in fantasy football. Ridley and Watson. I agree with that. Wildcats. JJ for CD and Ramondre. I would do that because I don't know if Justin Jefferson's coming back. Zeke the Don. Thank you for the super chat. Should I trade Kupp and Swift for Amon-Ra Bijan? Also, should I trade Kupp and Swift for Kelsey and Debo? I have ETN, Swift, McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker III, and CD. Great question. So the first question, should I trade Swift and Kupp for Amon-Ra and Bijan? The second question is Kupp and Swift for Kelsey and Debo. You already have these star-studded running backs, and you have a decent receiver. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I'm doing either of these trades. I'm a huge fan of Kelsey, but if Kupp is able to stay healthy, I think Kupp's a lock to be a top 5 receiver from when he came back to the end of the season. Now, at the end of the year, he's probably not going to finish as a top 5 receiver because he missed so many games. So it's kind of hard to do that. But from a points per game perspective, he's going to be able to do that, in my opinion. He is very safe every week. Stafford continues to force the ball to him. Sorry about that. And even with Puka Nacua feasting, we're still seeing a whole lot of we're still seeing a whole lot of Cooper Kupp. So I don't think I can get rid of Kupp and Swift. I'm a Kelsey guy. I'm not much of a Debo guy. I love Amon-Ra and Bijan. I really do. But if we're ranking these guys right now, rest of season, I think I'd rather have Kupp rest of season over Amon-Ra. And sadly for Bijan, because of the incompetence of Arthur Smith, I think I would rather have Swift over Bijan. So in that trade, I think you're giving away both pieces that would lose that trade. Kupp and Swift for Kelsey and Debo. I think Swift for Kelsey is a fair trade, right? You already have all these great running backs. What I would try to do is try to negotiate a Swift for Kelsey trade. That's what I would try to do personally. I would try to see, hey, do I just do Swift for Kelsey straight up? Because I wouldn't want to get rid of Kupp. I think you would be losing both of those trades if you did them, but I think you would be winning the trade if you could just go straight up, hey, I want Kelsey. I already have ETN, McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker III. Let's do Swift for Kelsey. Or let's do Swift and a lesser receiver for Kelsey, right? Do that. Because I think you'd be losing both of these trades. Now, I don't think these trades are crazy by any means, right? I don't think if you accepted one of these trades, you're not going to be sitting there at the end of the season like, oh, what a dumbass I am, right? I feel like an idiot, right? I don't think you would feel like an idiot, but I think personally, I wouldn't do either of these trades and try to just say, hey, pal, let's do Swift for Kelsey. I think that's much more likely to happen. And I assume when you're looking for Kelsey, it means your tight end on your team is pretty so-so. Mike GP, thank you for the super chat. That is a fire picture, by the way. That is I believe that's an old NFL logo. There was also, what was it? It was the Steelers and the Eagles were together. Those were the Steagles, but I don't think that's the logo. But I have seen that before. Mike GP, thank you for the super chat. PPR running backs, Bijan, Kamara, Warren, Roshan Reynolds, Olave, Puka, Wilson, Deontay Rashi, Osborne. Would you trade Warren, Rice, and Osborne for Amari Cooper? That's a really good question. Now, your running backs, your two guys, Bijan, Kamara, they're great. The other guys, pretty suspect. Your receivers, you got Olave, Puka, those guys that are locks into your lineup. The rest of the guys, pretty eh. So yes, I would do that trade. I would get Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper has top 8, maybe even top 5 upside weekly. I think the Browns are a really good team. The Browns defense scares me. As a Dolphins fan, like, hey, if the Dolphins get into the playoffs, they never do that, but if they get into the playoffs, and they have to go, hey, we're playing Cleveland, and maybe it's cold in Cleveland, that scares me. It really does. But I think Amari's on the up and up. I think Rice isn't really worth too much. I don't think Osborne's worth too much either. So I would do that trade. It's going to hurt your running back slightly, but you're already playing Bijan and Kamara every single week. So I'm doing that trade. I'm getting Amari Cooper, and I'm not even going to talk too much about it because I think this is pretty cut and dry here. We buy homes near you, 5112. Shout out to you buying homes near me. Not near me, though, because I don't live near there. I live in the 619, Rey Mysterio. Alvin Kamara tonight or Saquon questionable on Sunday? Great question. So these are one of those questions where we kind of have to understand that this isn't really a question of skill. I think in a vacuum, Saquon is more skilled than Kamara at this point in their careers. At this point, I think Kamara has lost a slight step. Now, Last season, I thought Kamara was halfway into the retirement home. I thought he lost a big step, like the one small step for mankind, like when Buzz Aldrin stepped on the moon, right? That's the step, like a big step like that, right? I thought that's what Kamara lost. It doesn't seem like Kamara's actually lost that much of a step. Coming out the suspension, he's been hot. Maybe that's because he has fresh legs by like week 7, and these other guys are fucking running with like messed up groins and hamstrings. But in terms of this question here, well, I think Saquon's better than Kamara. I would definitely play Kamara. Kamara's been, I believe, a top 14 running back in 3 straight weeks. Derek Carr loves to check the rock down to him. Saquon is in an iffy situation with Tyrod Taylor. I think Saquon's a big question mark this week, even though I would play him. There's questions to be had there, whereas I think Kamara is a safe lock up against a Jaguars middle-of-the-road defense. 127 entertainment. Keep in mind that I'm playing Kamara. I also, thank you for the super chat, I also have Olave, Ridley, Gabe Davis, and Scary Terry. Pick 3 receivers to go with Hill, who is always a lock. Thanks. Of course, Hill is a mortal lock of the fucking century. You got to play him every single week. I would even consider playing Tyreek Hill in his bye. He's that fucking good. He might score a touchdown on his bye. Let's see here. All right. So, let's go with, this is a little tough. I'm definitely playing Ridley and Olave. I know you're playing against Kamara. You can't sit Olave. You just can't sit Ridley either. You can't sit either of them. You can't sit either of them. Olave and Ridley are locks in my lineup. Now, it's Gabe Davis versus Scary Terry. Now, Scary Terry has been hot. He's cold all season. This is an offense that's been percolating in Washington, but we really haven't seen too much safety out of Scary Terry. And no, I'm not only doing super chats, Andrew. I've been answering regular questions this whole time, too. But I would go... Now, if you consult the rankings, I'll tell you, I have Scary Terry ranked higher because I think he's safer. And I think they have both have pretty good upside. Personally, if it's my lineup, and this is kind of the question, when I assume you guys are asking the questions, it's like, what would I do, right? If it's my team, the rankings don't necessarily correlate to that. I would personally play Gabe Davis. I think the Patriots defense sucks. I think the Patriots defense is really bad. I think the Bills that sucked last week are going to smash it out of the park this week. I think Gabe Davis is good for a touchdown, maybe 2. I don't think Scary Terry is a lock to score against the Giants. And the Giants versus the Commanders, I believe, has went under in like 10 of the last 12 games, meaning lower than 40.5 points scored. So what I'll tell you is, while I do like Scary Terry, this is easy. Olave, Ridley, Gabe Davis. Olave, Ridley, Gabe Davis. 44 MSU, Ridley or Flowers PPR. This is a tough one. T-Law is active. Personally, gun to the head, these are both guys that are very risky, right? Now, I still like Ridley. I still think Ridley is going to be able to overcome all this bullshit. I think Ridley is going to finish very strong. I think Ridley is an alpha receiver in the NFL. I think Calvin Ridley is one of the most talented wide receivers in the NFL, but his fantasy production has not shown that. He's been up and down like a roller coaster ride. Zay Flowers might feel a little bit safer, but he's the same thing. He really feels like the only receiver on the Ravens outside of Mark Andrews that can actually catch the football. So my prediction here, there were talks about Trevor Lawrence being able to kind of hit the ziggy zags, right? He's able to run, plant well on his foot. So it doesn't really seem like that Ridley is going to be severely let down by Trevor Lawrence, which was my initial worry, was that Trevor Lawrence was going to kind of sink the ship of Ridley. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be fine. He's going to be somewhat impacted, but he's going to be fine. Personally, if it's my team, I'm playing Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's the answer. Hunter, Trevor Lawrence, or Jordan Love? This is a great question. So Trevor Lawrence, again, dealing with the injury. Trevor Lawrence has been on kind of a skid recently, right? He's been not sinking your ship, not playing so bad that's like, oh, fuck, I started Trevor Lawrence. But you're also like, I started Trevor Lawrence, right? You're not like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Hooray, I started Trevor Lawrence. Just like, okay, I played him. He didn't screw me, but he didn't help me win. Jordan Love definitely reeked against the Raiders before the bye week. I'll tell you that, right? I was super high on Jordan Love. I was talking Jordan Love up in a big way. I thought Jordan Love was going to Hulk smash. He doesn't. He actually has his worst game of the season, 3 picks, no touchdowns. And I'm going to fix my camera real quick because it keeps going out of focus. But What I will tell you is that my answer is Jordan Love. I think Trevor Lawrence's injury is going to impact him just enough to where he's not going to be able to really run the ball at all. He's not going to be able to run. It's not going to impact him throwing. It's going to impact him running. And that alone scares me. I think Christian Watson being healthy helps out Jordan Love. I don't think Jordan Love's going to shit the bed like he did last week. So, or not last week, his last time out, though. You get what I mean, right? Before the bye against the Raiders. So I'm going Jordan Love and fins up, Hunter. Go Dolphins, baby. Shane, what's up, GOAT? What's going on, man? How are you doing, Shane? I really appreciate you showing up every single week. Stafford or Howell, Thomas or Freiermuth, if he's back for tight end 2, DST, Washington or Falcons, and for a friend, Watson or Carr? Great question. Great question. The tight end question's cut and dry. I don't trust Freiermuth. I do not trust the Steelers offense. Now, Freiermuth has gotten lucky. He's luck boxed into touchdowns this season, right? Even when the Steelers offense is a little limp, he's scored. So, I'll give him some credit. He has scored in spots that I didn't think that he would. But Logan Thomas has been on fire. I know he had a bit of a down game last week, but I definitely trust Logan Thomas far more than Freiermuth. Then we got to get to the defenses, and then we'll do the quarterbacks. So Washington, the Commanders play the Giants. The Falcons are playing up against the Bucs. I would have to go Commanders because I think Tyrod is in to throw like a pick or get sacked a couple times. So we're going Commanders. And then for the quarterbacks, Stafford versus Howell is tight. I would go Carr over Watson. So I'm going Carr. I'm going Washington. I'm going Thomas. And then Stafford or Howell is real close. Real close. I think Stafford is on the precipice of hitting his peak. He has yet to be a top 12 quarterback yet. Howell has. I do worry about Howell's game being a little bit more low scoring. And I think a lot of the scoring is going to come from the Commander side. So it's really close. I would personally play Stafford. So we're going Stafford, Thomas, Commanders, and Derek Carr. Even though I like Watson way better than Carr, I think Carr sucks ass. But I would definitely just rather go Watson. I mean, I'd rather just go Carr. Traded Kelsey and Debo for Laporta, Swift, and CD. I love that. I love that. That's a great trade. You love to see it. That was a great trade. I'm telling y'all better bench Ridley. I don't think Ridley's going to have his biggest game of the week, but I also think he's going to be a little bit better than people think. Trade Stevenson, Jordan Addison for Calvin Ridley. I would do that, yeah. This is better than NBC BS News. Do you guys watch the news? I find the news to be a little sad to watch, especially with all shit going around in the world all the time. It's like, I don't know. It's just like stuff I try not to think about, There's a lot of messed up shit in the world, and the news just further reiterates that. Now, I'm on Twitter all the time, so I am pretty aware of what's happening. It's kind of sad. Hey, Nick, pick one running back, Aaron Jones or Jonathan Taylor. And again, based upon what I said, I'm not going to say anything political on these streams. There's no reason to divide the fucking chat in half or something. Hey, Nick, pick one running back, Aaron Jones or Jonathan Taylor. Definitely play Aaron Jones. Also, pick one for the flex, Aaron Jones, Ridley, JT, Godwin, Terry. So if you could play Aaron Jones twice, if there's two different leagues, I'm playing Aaron Jones twice. But if this is the same league, I'm going Aaron Jones, and I'm going with Ridley. Hope you're right, Lego. I'm starting Ridley. Only fantasy YouTuber I watch. Love the channel. Thank you, Eric. I really appreciate that. Start Lawrence, Geno, or Carr. I'm starting Geno. Geno's matchup is Chef's Kiss Manuf Week. I love Geno Smith's matchup. I love it. I love it. And Lego Batman, the movie, if anyone's never seen that movie, that shit is straight gasoline. That movie is fire. Everton, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. Who do I start? Deontay Johnson, JT, or Calvin Ridley at the flex? Josh Dobbs, Daniel Jones, or Ritter at quarterback? That's tough. That is tough. For both questions. I don't know how much involvement Deontay Johnson's going to have the first week out. I think due to bye weeks that a lot of people are suffering from, I think Deontay Johnson becomes a start. But say there's 6 teams on bye. Say there's just 2 teams on bye this week, Deontay Johnson would be nowhere near any of my lineups. But because we have bye weeks and all, that leads to me kind of wanting to force myself into starting Deontay Johnson. JT, he saw a slight ramp up in production, but Zach Moss is still running hard, still running well. So it's not like JT is going to fully take over. It might take some time. So I'm going Calvin Ridley. Even though I think I think all these guys are pretty suspect this week, I'm going Calvin Ridley. I'm going to go Calvin Ridley. And then Dobbs, Jones, or Ritter. Ritter's been a top 6 quarterback in back-to-back weeks. But as we always say, a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Do we really think Ritter's going to be able to do it again? I don't love Ritter's matchup. I think Ritter could carve against cupcake matchups. I think this matchup's a little tougher for him. So I would go Josh Dobbs. I know Josh Dobbs has been pretty down bad recently, but Dobbs feels like a safer bet than Daniel Jones and Ritter. So I'm going to go Dobbs, and I'm going Calvin Ridley. And if Kyler Murray is available in any of your guys' leagues, make sure that you pick up Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray has league-winning upside. I tweeted it the second I saw he was back at practice. I said, go out and get Kyler Murray right now. Don't walk, run. So if Kyler is still available in your league, you could probably pick him up and throw him back on the IR. If he's available, you want Kyler Murray on your team. Some people drafted him. You need him on your team. Meyer, Thomas, or Musgrave? Meyer. Assuming that means Jacoby Myers. Mahomes or Goff? Mahomes. Howell or T-Law? Howell. You need a flex wide receiver 3, Jacoby, Josh Reynolds, or Ford? Jacoby. And you need a flex as well. I'd go Ford. Gibbs and Jamar for CD in London. Who won that trade? I think I'd rather have CD in London. Trade Devontae Smith and Roshan Johnson for Aaron Jones and Josh Downs. Yes. Yeah, I agree with Spock, guys. You cannot sit Mahomes. I don't care who your other quarterback is, unless you have like Mahomes and Tua or something. Like, you're not sitting Mahomes. And this is something that I preach all offseason. If you draft one of those quarterbacks super highly, please don't draft another one, because then when a guy like Mahomes is not struggling a little bit, but not having the best of games, right? Not like on top of the charts, back in your hearts, you can't be getting cute, starting fucking Goff over Mahomes. And that's what some people do. So you really try to stick to drafting just one quarterback, because the main reason why I do it is because I think you start trying to galaxy brain yourself out if you do that. So Persian, Assassin. Lawrence or Howell at quarterback, Ridley or London at flex? Great question. Both Ridley and London are probably 2 of the more risky receivers in fantasy right now. London is at the Lamborghini mercy of Ritter and Arthur Smith. Ridley is just kind of up and down. I'd go Ridley. And then Lawrence or Howell, I would lean Howell. Just because Lawrence is banged up. So I'm going Howell. And I'm going with Ridley. Jaguars, man, creeps me out. He creeps me out too. Choose half PPR. Adams, Waddle, Ridley, Myers. Adams and Waddle. This is the type of question that'll keep you up at night, though. Sorry, Musgrave, Thomas, or Meyer. Oh, okay, Thomas. Hollywood. Derek Carr, Kirk Thuggins, Derek Carr. I'm in 2 and 4 trade. Chase for Saquon and Ayuk. Yes. Should I start Carr, Danny Dimes, Carr? Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff? Pickens or Javonte? Pickens. Trevor Lawrence or Jared Goff? Jags, Bucks, Commanders, or Packers defense? I would go with the Jags, personally. And actually, I agree with Spock. I'd go Javonte over Pickens. I told on myself because Deontay Johnson's back. DJ Moore or Roshan? DJ Moore. DJ Moore for sure. Faux show. Javonte over Pickens, I agree with that. One flex, Christian Watson versus Denver, JT versus the Browns, Terry McLaurin versus the Giants, or Godwin versus Atlanta. I'd go Christian Watson. Waller and Gibbs for Olave. I would do that. Thanks, Nick. No problem. Who should I start at flex? Deontay or Mayer? I'd play Mayer. Half my team's on bye. Yeah. Oh, wait. Wait. I think I'd play Deontay over Mayer. Have to sit one. Ridley, Pittman, Myers, Evans, London. I am sitting Pittman. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the stream. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. D-Man, though, K-Smooth, I'll go Thomas. Ravens? Oh, tough. I don't know why. Did I say tooth? Ravens or Commanders? Defense. Commanders. Jacoby, DJ, Hollywood, pick 2. That's a good one. Hollywood and DJ Moore. Jerome Ford or Jonathan Taylor? Ford, Musgrave, or Thomas? Thomas. Thanks, Nick. No problem. Godwin or Palmer? Godwin. DJ Moore, Mixon, Moore. Calvin Ridley or Gabe Davis? Ridley. Spock, you think Stafford over T-Law? I agree with that. Yeah, I don't think Roshan's going to end up playing. But again, I wouldn't necessarily rule it out because we still have tomorrow for him to get out of concussion protocol, but shit's not looking sweet for him, man. Things are looking real rough for the boy right now. 12-man PPR, need 2 flexes. Michael Thomas, Logan Thomas, Elijah Moore, Josh Palmer. Palmer and Michael Thomas. Logan Thomas or Mayer. Logan Thomas. Roshan still stuck at stage 3 concussion protocol. Yeah, I think I already read that. I don't know why my computer's being extra slow today. It is what it is. I don't know why it's doing that. I think I have to restart my computer before every single stream, so I'll remember to do that next time. I apologize. Do we pick up Latavius Murray? I assume that would be the Murray. Or Kyler Murray. I would pick up Kyler Murray. T-Law or Howell this week? I'd play Howell. Gustavo, thank you for the super chat, my man. Sup, my guy? What's up, man? Start Love or Howell at quarterback. Not trusting Kirk anymore. I want to trust Kirk this week. He has a really tough matchup. Also, should I start Javonte Williams over Gabe Davis, the flex? Have a good one. Thank you. I'll have a good one. I hope you have a great one as well. So, for me, this is, I would say, relatively simple. I love Javonte Williams this week, but I like Gabe Davis even more. I think Gabe Davis is in for a potential smash spot against the Patriots. I'm talking about one of those games where he hangs his nuts over the defense. I'm talking about a huge performance. So I'm going Gabe Davis over Javonte Williams. And then it is Love or Howell. Now, I know Love struggled against the Raiders, but I think Love gets back on the saddle. Christian Watson fully healthy. I think Love's going to be hot this week like a tamale. So we're going Love, and we're going Gabe Davis. Thank you for the super chat, Gustavo. Jordan Addison or Lockett? Addison. Pickett or Aiden O'Connell / Hoyer? Pickett. Goff or Watson? Full PPR. Goff. Samuel or Foreman? Is that Curtis Samuel? Curtis Samuel. Full PPR, should I trade Alvin Kamara and Josh Downs for Garrett Wilson, Hollywood Brown, and Ramondre? Oh, man. It depends what your running back core is, Gliz. It really depends. Because if you can afford to lose Kamara, I think this is good. But if your running back core is real light, I don't think I would do this because I have way more confidence in Kamara compared to Stevenson. And Garrett Wilson to me is just like not even a part of the trade, right? Like you're getting Garrett Wilson, but are you ever going to play Garrett Wilson? Rebel King, trade Bijan for a top 10 receiver. Yes, I would do that. Is A-Chain still worth keeping on the bench? Do not cut A-Chain. When A-Chain shows back up, if you cut him, you're going to feel like a buffoon. Is Christian Kirk a play this week? Yes. Nick, what's going on? I traded CD for Waddle and Kirk for Puka. I like that. Where do you think Ayuk will rank rest of the season? He's tough because every single week he's pretty up and down. I think at the end of the season he's going to finish top 12, but he's not very safe. Crystal, pick one running back, one receiver, and a flex. Have St. Brown CMC already in. Thanks, no problem. All right, for receiver, you go Ayuk. For running back, you're going Mostert. And for flex, you are going Zay Flower. Oh, you're going Pacheco. So you're going Ayuk, Pacheco, and Mostert. There you go. Dobbs or Baker, Mason said. I would go Baker. Pick 2, Pittman, Ford, or Ridley. I would go Pittman and Ridley. Sorry that I keep sneezing. I don't know what the fuck's gotten into me. I don't know what is wrong. I don't know what's wrong. Something is very wrong. All right, let me just take a picture of something for a second, and then we're going to go back to answering the questions. All right. We're back. Okay, guys, still see me? Okay, no, we can. Never mind. It just looked like it was frozen on my end. All right. I'm waiting for the questions to load because my computer's having a fucking straight up seizure right now. One more time. What's up, Zach? Oh, man. I would go ETN and Mostert. Down bad, chat. Play Ahmed or Latavius. Kamara or Bijan? Kamara. Rest of season, Pollard or Kamara? Kamara. I was offered Adam Thielen for Kamara. I need receiver help. Don't take that. You need a way better receiver for Kamara. I think Thielen's going to continue to play good, but I don't really trust him. Just picked up Kyler, Jordan Mason, and Christian Watson. Love that. How is Christian Watson available in your league? That's fucking crazy. Jags or Bucks? I'd go Jags. I lost both A-Chain and Kyron Williams. Yeah, dude, that's fucking tough. That's the game we play in fantasy football, right? So much of what happens relies heavily on the injuries, man. It's tough. Trade Bijan for Thielen? No. Do you play video games? Wayne says. Yes, I do. Not a lot, though. I wish I had a PlayStation 5. I have an Xbox Series X, so I can play the new Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man games. I played both of them on PC. They're literally 2 of the best games I've ever played. Definitely the original Spider-Man. Red Dead Redemption is probably my favorite video game ever. I don't play a lot anymore. I have Game Pass, so I've played like the 10-hour free trials of all the sports games. I normally play sports games and COD. That's really it. And I'm not very good at video games anymore. As a kid, I was good. As an adult, as if like I'm an adult, right? I'm 24, but I guess I am technically an adult, but I'm not very good at video games anymore. I used to be good. No longer. No longer, guys. Trying to get A-Chain by trading Logan Thomas. I hope that works out for you. Would you trade Brian Robinson for Derrick Henry? Yes. Cody. Jerome Ford or Calvin Ridley at the flex, full PPR. That is a tough one. That's tough. This is tough. And I don't know why it's not showing on the screen, so I generally do apologize. Jerome Ford or Calvin Ridley at the flex from Cody's super chat. This is a hard one. I love Ford and Ridley. I love them. So let me give you 2 answers to this, Cody. If you want 12 points, play Jerome Ford. If you want the safest bet, play Ford. I know Ford's going to get touches. I know that Ridley is a little iffy. So if you want the safe bet, go Ford. If you want the upside, go Ridley. I'm an upside guy. I'm playing Ridley in every league tonight that I got him in. I'm fully ready to get fucked over by him. But I'd personally, if you want to go safe, go Ford. If you want to be a little risky like me, go Ridley. And if it's up to me, I'm going Ridley. PS for show. I mean, dude, when I went to buy the PlayStation when it first came out, it was impossible to get. Me and my fiance tried to buy it. It was impossible. I finally found the Xbox. I just caved. I was like, fuck it. I already have an Xbox One. I'll get the Xbox Series X, but I wish I got the PlayStation 5. I wish there was a way to just trade it in, go from Xbox to PlayStation, but there's really not at this point. Like if I was to return my Xbox, I'd probably get like $300, and that's really not even helpful. Like I'd rather just pony up the cash to get a PlayStation. But I don't got the bread for that right now, so no PlayStation for me. No PlayStation for me. One running back, one receiver at a flex. Zach Evans, Ford, Ridley, Addison, Curtis Samuel. Also in another league, start Madison or Craig Reynolds. Oh, man. Oh boy. Ford in at running back. Ridley in at receiver. Call me fucking crazy. Call me crazy. I'm going Curtis Samuel. Call me crazy. I'm playing Curtis Samuel over Addison. And I don't know why your thing is not showing up on the screen. I really apologize, but dude, it is just... It's going to be tough sledding for Addison this week against the Niners. So I'm going Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel's on fire. He might just flare out this week, shit the bed, be atrocious. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But personally, I am going to go... I don't think the hat looks good because it's so dark in here, so I got to wear it backwards. But yeah, I don't want to play Addison that much this week. So I'm going Ford. I'm going Ridley, and I'm going Curtis Samuel. And in your other league, I'm playing Alexander Madison, even in the tougher matchup. What's up, Legendary One? Yeah, Myers is still a decent play, even with Jimmy G out. Legendary One said, yeah, Curtis Samuel has been a beast, even though he sucks. He actually is a shit player, but he's been on fire. He did this last year, too, if you guys remember. Maybe Spock remembers. I don't remember what weeks it was. I think it might have been early on in the season. Curtis Samuel's feasting, and so was Carson Wentz. And then, like, 3 weeks in, after I was like, kind of like, guys, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I know they look good. This is like Fugazi. This doesn't make any sense. And then it all fell off. But if you guys remember that from last season, you would know what I'm talking about. Legendary One, Evan Ingram or Laporta. This is a tough as nails question. This is tough. Let's read about Laporta real quick. Laporta, Sam. Let's make sure he's healthy. Of course, when you fucking Google Sam Laporta, nothing about his injury shows up. He played last week, clearly banged up. Seems like he's going to play. Ingram is so safe, but Laporta's been so safe too. And I know my cameras went out of focus. I just fucking punched the thing. And now it's even more out of focus. So way to go, Nick. And now we're back in focus. But yeah, I would go try to grab you guys like that. But yeah, I would definitely go Laporta over Ingram. It's close. You probably want to trade one of those guys. If we're keeping it a buck here, if you have two of them, you probably want to sell high on either of them. I would go Laporta. Tim. Oh, 1 second. The internet's a little spotty right now, so I'm not going to answer. Once that clears up, I'll answer the question. I think you guys can still hear me, but right now I have 1 bar of connection, it says on the screen, so I don't want to like go off on a tangent answering a question. It should be back now. Oh, now it's going down again. Sorry about this, guys. We pay for pretty good internet at my house. We have a good router. I have a good computer. It doesn't seem to matter. Doesn't really seem to matter. So I hope it sounds fine right now, but I know it might be glitchy as fuck right now. So I don't want to say anything. Hopefully it fixes itself. I hate this so much. I don't know why it does this. All right. Let's see here. I don't know why it's still lagging. I apologize. Can you guys hear me fine? Oh, you can hear me. Okay. So we're just going to keep answering. Sorry about that. Nothing's like coming in. So we're going to go Laporta for Legendary One. And then Tim says pick 3, James Cook, Brian Robinson, Samuel, Rashad Rice. Is that his name? Is it Rashid Rice? Sorry. Pickens, Jonathan Taylor. Lock James Cook in. Lock Brian Robinson in. And I'm going Rashid Rice against the Chargers. Brian Robinson, James Cook, Rashid Rice. Brian Robinson, James Cook, Rashid Rice. That's your answer. And now it's all fixed. So it's all good now. I apologize again for my internet. It's going to do that, I would say, once every stream. When we're live for like an hour, 15 minutes, it'll do that once. So I apologize. James Cook, like the matchup, like the bounce back aspect. Brian Robinson's just like a safety net every single week. You just play him. I like the upside of Samuel. So Samuel and Rashid Rice are actually pretty close, but I do really like Rashid Rice's matchup against the Chargers. So I'm going Rashid Rice. We're going James Cook, Brian Robinson, and Rashid Rice. All right. Thank you, Legendary One, for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Oh, everything looks fine for your guys' end. That's just great. So on my end, it looks like we're having a fucking seizure. I'm going like this. Right? And then on your guys' end, everything's fine. So I hope Jonathan Taylor has a good game. I do. But do I trust it? No, I really don't. Even though I hope he has a big game, I don't really trust it. All right. All right. Stream's perfect. That's really hilarious because, like I said, on my end, we were literally doing like one of those where it's like a stop motion fucking picture. If you've ever watched like a stop motion movie, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. But that's what it looks like on my end. I'm trying to put my lineups in for DraftKings right now. Start Flowers over Thomas. I agree with that. Trevor Lawrence or Baker? I'd go Lawrence. What about Lockett or Cooper? I'd rather play Cooper. F1. Like the, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. That's a fact. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Subscribe. Legendary One's question here is Flex 1, Gabe Davis, Jacoby Myers, Roshan Johnson. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that when push comes to shove, that Roshan Johnson is going to end up playing. Now, do I hope that Roshan Johnson plays? Yes, because I think he's way better than Donta Foreman. But he is still very much in the concussion protocol. And I don't think that he is necessarily a lock to play. And damn it, I think I did this wrong. So I'm going to have to put it all in anyways. Yeah, we're just going to have to type these all in probably. You hate to see it. Okay. So Gabe Davis, Jacoby Myers, or Roshan Johnson. Gun to the head, I'm going Jacoby Myers. I love Gabe Davis. I'm a huge Gabe Davis guy, but I'm going Jacoby Myers. So I'm going Jacoby Myers. That's very simple for me, Jacoby Myers. Very, very simple. Latavius Murray or Keontae Ingram, Shaheed or Slayton, says Joe Castles. All right. Let's answer this one. Latavius Murray or Keontae Ingram, and then Shaheed or Slayton. So Latavius Murray versus Ingram is pretty simple for me. I think I would rather go with oh my God, I'm shitting. My brain's having a brain fart. I think I'd rather go Keontae Ingram. I feel like Keontae Ingram has a pretty strong grasp of that role in Arizona, even though he shouldn't, right? Even though when push comes to shove, Emari Demercado is better than him, that is not what the actual play on the field doesn't necessarily correlate to what the coaching decision is. So while I think that push comes to shove, Keontae Ingram isn't very good, the team thinks he's good, and that's enough to kind of scare me off of Keontae Ingram. And then Shaheed versus Slayton, I would go with Shaheed. I think both of them have pretty big upside, and none of them are really all that safe. So I would just go with the guy that I think has more upside, and that would be Shaheed. So I'm going Shaheed, and I am going Keontae Ingram. Rolando says, sit one, Palmer or Michael Thomas. I would personally sit Michael Thomas. But again, they're both pretty much guys that I don't necessarily want in my lineup this week. But I think I'd rather go Go with Palmer. All right. Next question here. Rolando says, Rolando, we already answered this question. Andrew Ray, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys who have super chatted tonight. It means the world to me. Without you guys, this is all impossible. Just so you guys know, none of these streams, these videos are possible without you guys. I understand I'm the person making them, but you guys are the reason why I'm able to make them, right? Otherwise, I'd be talking to no one. And again, it really is, it's truly an honor to do this because it's so crazy to me that this many people show up every single week. And it's been something that has been crazy to me when there was 10 people here, even crazier when there's been streams where there's 250 people here, right? I've been on streams where there's thousands of people, and it truly is shocking, you know? Something I never thought would even be possible. So I really do love you guys. So Andrew, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And I think I know why the stream is a little bit laggy right now. It's because my computer is straight up on tilt right now. It is shit in the bed. Hey, you know what? Maybach? I do give long stories, and they're never short. They're never short. Well, my stories, I might say long story short, I'll go on for like fucking 20 minutes. If I knew that people would watch my videos if they were 3 hours long, every single fucking video I make would be 3 hours long because I could just go on tangents about basically every single thing that I talk about. Everything about fantasy could be a long tangent. No one would watch. It would just be me talking to myself like an insane person. But that's just how that shit goes. Okay. ETN. All right. Great question here from Andrew. Andrew says, Josh Allen, Pacheco, Ford, Waddle, Ayuk, Komet. I have Boyd and Palmer and Jeff Wilson as options for the flex. Jefferson was my number one pick. Long story short, I'm 1-5. My first time for playing FF. What do I do? It's okay, man. It's okay. You know what the problem with fantasy is a lot of the time your record actually doesn't say too much about how good of a fantasy player you are or how good your team is. I have multiple teams that are top 3 in points for, top 3 in points against, and I end up looking like an idiot, right? My record isn't very good, but I have a good team. To me, that's what this team kind of feels like. This feels like the kind of team where you actually have a good team, right? You actually drafted well, you picked up well, and you're just kind of stuck in the gutter here because of the way that the season has went, right? It wasn't necessarily your fault that your team is really not doing so hot. So what I'll tell you is I like every single player you have starting right now. I would flex Joshua Palmer. I love Jeff Wilson this week, but what I will tell you is Jeff Wilson is nowhere near close to safe. I think Jeff Wilson is a pretty risky player, if we're being honest with you, this week. So I think I would ultimately go with Mr. Palmer as your flex. You basically got fucked over by the fact that Justin Jefferson got hurt. I still think you can come back. I still think you can end up even potentially winning this league. You guys just need to understand that in fantasy, you cannot give up, right? Even if your team is looking bad, 1-5 right now, you could still squeak your way into the playoffs. You could still win your league, right? All you need to do is get into the playoffs. That record that you have at the end of the season doesn't mean shit once you get into the playoffs. All that matters is that you beat the people in front of you. And that has been a sentiment of mine for a while because I don't want you guys to panic about your team right now. So I will tell you that I would flex Palmer and don't worry about your team right now. Don't worry about the record. Shit sucks sometimes. You're going to get fucked over. But at the end of the day, don't panic. Do not panic. Reckless, what's up, man? I'll acknowledge you. You're like, what's his name? Roman Reigns. Acknowledge me. There's no way that even half the chat understood that reference because only nerds like myself partake in watching wrestling every once in a while. And it's okay if you watch wrestling because I watch it too, right? Every once in a while. It's like a man's soap opera. But at points it is kind of boring. It's kind of one of those things that I just watch and you half pay attention and then sometimes really cool stuff happens, you know? Joe Castles. Flex Shaheed or Zach Moss. Personally, I would go ahead and flex Zach Moss. I don't love Shaheed enough to like force him into my lineups. So I am 100% going with Zach Moss there. I think that Shaheed is a decent play with a lot of upside, but I think we kind of know exactly what we're getting when we play Zach Moss. I'm getting a million text messages. So that's what I would do. I would play Zach Moss. Brandon O'Reilly's Auto Parts. Alrighty. Let's go. Half PPR from Brandon. Sorry. My hair is like fucking going all stupid today. But Ridley or Pittman, I'd have to go Ridley. Pittman's been kind of doing a bit of a dive recently with Anthony Richardson gone. So I think your safest bet here is to probably go here. Wait 1 second. Probably go with Ridley. I know Ridley hasn't been the safest either. Pittman and Ridley are both kind of risky, but I'd rather take the risk of Ridley personally. Rather take the risk of Ridley. So that's what I'm doing. Ridley over Pittman. Ridley over Pittman. Jokers says Michael Pittman or Curtis Samuel at the flex. I would go Curtis Samuel. 100%. 100% Curtis Samuel. Again, Curtis Samuel is pretty hit or miss, just like Michael Thomas, right? It's not like you're playing Michael Thomas. It's not like Michael Thomas is like the super safe answer, right? And I'm giving you this risky answer. No, that's not really how things are going. So I'm going to go ahead and play Curtis Samuel over Michael Thomas. Curtis Samuel over Michael Thomas. And then Lawrence. All right, next question here. Flowers or Gibbs at the flex, full PPR. So what I'll tell you, Cody, is this is something that I don't necessarily want to answer right now, but you donated, so I'm going to have to answer it, right? And that's not because I think that this is like an impossible question to answer, but more so because I think that this is going to be a question that my opinion would change from now until Sunday. Now, if Gibbs plays and every running back on that team is out, which is looking very plausible, you are going to want to play Gibbs because there will be no chance for the team not to give the ball to Gibbs, right? If no one else is there, they have to force feed the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs. It doesn't fucking matter if they seem to kind of have some hatred in their heart for Gibbs. They have to give him the ball. So, personally, I would go ahead and play Gibbs if the running backs miss. If the running backs are there, then we are very easily playing Flowers. So right now, lock Flowers into your lineup, but you are going to be able to change Flowers out for Gibbs, assuming that the other running backs miss. Kathy, Weggle, hi, low, photo and video. Thank you for the super chat. Or Weagle. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I really do apologize. Because again, we all know that. I say this all the time. My what's it called? My pronunciation of names is very bad. There are guys that like Tyson Bagnet. His name is like something way different than how I've been pronouncing it, and people in the comments continue to get after me about it. And frankly, if this is a guy that's playing one game, I'm never going to learn their name. I'll try and learn your name though, because I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. And then let's go Saints. All right. I finished putting my lineups in while we also stream here. Last minute flex, Gabe Davis, Rashid Shaheed. Thank you for the super chat. So again, Rashid Shaheed is a super high upside player, right? He's a guy with a lot of upside to potentially turn your week completely around, right? He's the type of guy that has the upside to individually carry you to the promised land, right? He has the upside to potentially take your team from being pretty meh to being amazing. So, with that said, though, I don't think you can play I don't think that you can play. Man. I don't think that you can play Rashid Shaheed over Gabe Davis. Sorry, I was just kind of got lost in my own thoughts. But yeah, I don't think that you can play Rashid Shaheed over Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis is just so much safer. They basically have the exact same upside. I'm going Gabe Davis 100%. 100p going Gabe Davis. Rock out with your cock out. T-Law or Russ. Don't love either option, but I think, call me crazy, Spock, what do you think about this one? I would go with, I'm going Russ over Trevor Lawrence just because of the fact that T-Law is a little banged up. Now, I think T-Law is still going to end up having a good game, but ultimately, I am going to go with Russ over T-Law. Now, I'm stuck with T-Law in my lineup in one of my leagues, so I'm playing him. I'm playing him too, but I'd rather go Russ. I think Russ has a pretty good matchup this week too. Like I feel like the Broncos aren't going to suck as bad. So yeah, that's how we feel here. Game time, final call. Yeah, I'm just going to spam answer a bunch of questions here. I got Nakua and Green Bay tight end. Just can't pick the quarterback. Love or Stafford? Love. Love over Stafford. Are we dropping 2-2? Yes. You want my kicker rankings? I really don't think too much about kickers, if I'm being honest with you. I don't even bother really adjusting them. So I'm not really a kicker guy. If you have questions about kickers, you can ask. But sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. My whole computer just eviscerated, but we're back. I know a bunch of people already left, but we're back. Definitely going Russ over T-Law. Thoughts on Jeff Wilson this week? I like Jeff Wilson a lot, but I don't necessarily want to tell you like I trust him 100%. And thank you for the super chat again, Kathy. I really appreciate that. Did you have another question that you left in the chat? Let's see. Let's see. If you got any other questions, leave them in chat. I'll make sure to answer. Ridley, Watson, or McLaurin this week? Ridley. Anyone, please, T-Law or Baker? T-Law. Nick, tell your neighbors to upgrade their Wi-Fi. Yeah, I have to tell the fucking my McDonald's person to figure it out. Thank you again, Kathy, for the super chats. Play Kamara then, since you can't monitor Gibbs properly. That makes sense. T-Law or Baker? I'd play T-Law. Would you rather start Roshan Johnson or Foreman? Let's go. Yeah, I would definitely start them over Jeff Wilson, whoever plays. Stevenson, Ridley, or DJ Moore, standard scoring. Ridley. Appreciate it, no problem. Tua or Lamar, Tua. Addison, Myers, or Jameson Williams? Myers. Was Kyron and Smitty for Lamar Mark Andrews a good trade? I think so. Do I start Olave or Puka? I would go Puka. Would you play the Jags defense tonight? I think the Jags defense are fine tonight. Just for the weekly routine, Hurts, Ridley, Addison, Johnson / Foreman, Ford, Ingram. Yeah, your team looks good. I'm glad you finally have a tight end now. Roshan or Stevenson? Stevenson. I can't believe it's already week 7. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It feels like the season just started. It did just start 7 weeks ago, right? 6 weeks ago. It really is crazy. Like, it feels like the season started like 4 seconds ago, and it happens every single year, right? We're on a blink, and the season's going to be over, and it's going to be sad. Good luck, AC. Good luck to everyone in chat. Warren or Moss or Roshan? Moss. Warren or Downs? I'd go Downs. Dobbs over Rice or Samuel. I would play Dobbs over... No, I don't think I would. I think I'd rather play Samuel or Rice over Dobbs. Should I try Puka and Mixon for Olave and Swift? Yeah, I would do that. I do Puka and Mixon for Olave and Swift. Roshan still in concussion protocol. Agreed. Yeah, make sure you guys check. Traded D-Hop for Ingram straight up. That's crazy. Who would I trade Jahmyr Gibbs for? You are probably not going to be able to sell Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, basically, no one wants him. No one wants him. I would definitely hold him. I don't think you can really give him. Never back down. Never what? Going for the 1-7 record. Let's go. Bro's like Nick A30, baby. Madison or Moss? I would go Madison. No, I'd go. I have Moss when I had Madison. I go Moss. 10-team non-PPR. Jacobs or Saquon non-PPR? Jacobs. Ridley or Flowers? Ridley. Justice Hill or Zach Evans? Zach Evans. Like the stream before game time. That's a fact. Flowers or Davis or Moore? I would play Moore. Thank you for your content. It's the best. Thank you. Thank you. Who would you trade Bijan for? ? Or would you hold Bijan? I would hold Bijan. Would you trade Pierce and Puka for Spears and Waddle? No. Trade Montgomery for Puka? Hold. I'd hold Montgomery. If I can make the playoffs, I think I got a solid team. Hunt/Fields. Hurt/Fields. Yeah, I would agree with you. I like your team. 10-team non-PPR trade Waddle, Saquon, and Warren for Kenneth Walker and CD. I would do that. I would do that. It's basically Waddle and Saquon for Kenneth Walker and CD, and I think you'd be winning that trade. It is close, but I think you'd be winning that trade. Kirk or London? Kirk. Kirk over London for sure. I'm thinking of starting an Adult Swim version of ESPN. You're the first person I want to sign. Yeah, hit my email up, I don't know, Tyron, your running backs are stacked, but sheesh, they both might not come back. Did I even answer Tyron's question? I think I might just skip them. But yeah, I do like Tyron's team a lot. His running backs are pretty iffy, but once they come back, he should be good. He should be good. Thanks for answering our questions, my guy. No problem. Yeah, typically if you stay all the way to the end of the stream, you're basically guaranteed to get your question answered because everyone else leaves to go watch the game. So if you don't super chat, which is okay. Again, I try to make this very clear every single stream. You do not have to super chat. You don't have to. I appreciate it. It is the thing that helps me the most. Besides you liking the video, the super chats are what helps me the most. But yeah, it's tough work out here. What's your opinion on Pollard rest of the season? I like Pollard a lot rest of the season. I'm not too worried. I need to find another running back to play in my one league that I'm in. Things are real tough out here. But these are things I got to think about as the week goes along. Good luck all. Week 7, 6 teams on bye. It could be a shitty week. I agree. A shiesty week. Yeah, it could be a real tough week this week. I agree with you. This is going to be a doozy. But it is what it is. Like all my teams, everyone is severely beaten and battered. Like I don't really have a lot of options in a lot of my leagues. But good luck, everyone. Congratulations on your success, man. I too hope to one day start a channel, not for football, but it's nice to see someone make it happen. I'm rooting for you. Thank you, Rebel King. I really appreciate that. And good luck. You know, you don't have to have the most fancy equipment to start. When I started making videos, I was using my Xbox headset. I was never on camera. It was a little different, but always make sure you chase your dreams, because when you get a little bit older, I don't know how old you are, you might regret it if you don't. I just sent a trade Godwin for Swift, hoping he's down bad. I don't think he'll accept that, but maybe. I need 2 Pittman, Godwin, London, non-PPR. I would go Godwin and Pittman. Gibbs or Taylor for the flex, Pittman or one of those guys. I would play, or Tyrod Taylor, I'd play Pittman. Appreciate you keeping it 100. Thank you. Make sure you do that, Josh. Thanks for all the help, Nick and Spock. Everyone smash that like button. Make sure you do, yeah. How do you feel about Pollard? Can I get a Raiders call out? The Raiders! All right, I'll do it better. That was bad. The Las Vegas Raiders. But yeah, I like Pollard a ton. Again, Spock said Pollard leads the league with carries inside the 20. The problem is he's just small. Like, he's not built big enough to like score from all those, and it's really frustrating. But yeah, I like Pollard a ton. PPR, should I trade away Metcalf and Whitefry, you can Rice? I would personally not do that. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I got you. I would play Gibbs. Come on, Tila. All right, guys. I'm going to head out because the game started. I really appreciate all you guys. I love you guys so much. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. I have Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray. Can I trade one for a wide receiver? Currently have. Yeah, I would trade Kyler if someone's willing to buy Kyler, or you have to wait then until Kyler comes back to trade him. But I would try to eventually make a trade. All right, I love you guys. Thanks, brother. Fins up. I'll see you guys on the Flippity Flop. See you guys in the morning. Tomorrow, either in the morning or in the afternoon, wide receiver rankings, and then Saturday, quarterback and tight end rankings. Love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button as always, and make sure you guys have a good one. Bye-bye. Let's go Jags tonight. Go Jags. Good boy.